Welcome to another connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on our show this week. We have a connection show every Monday, and our studio will be here, and we always try to have different organizations coming in to talk about what they're doing around our viewing area. And we have some really good organizations, and many times people out in the viewing audience maybe don't understand exactly their purpose or all the things that they do to help people, not only in our area, but even around the world. So we're glad that you joined us this week. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with a lady about a program that is coming up here very soon. It has to do with children.
My name is Nikki. I work at Dental Creations on the Square in Harrison, and I'm a dental assist. We're the first faces that the patients see. We get them through the paperwork process, explain what's going on, and just let them know step by step what to expect, and you get to see them throughout the whole process. We want our patients to be happy, we want them to be comfortable, and that's really what it's about, getting the best results while making great relationships with people.
Dental Creations on the Square in Harrison, next to the Big Red Boot.
There's no gift like the present, and there's no present like one gift wrapped with a shiny Shelby sticker. Did you know that Harrison is home to one of the largest gift boutiques in Arkansas? That's right. For the past 39 years, Shelby's has been the 7,500 square foot home to trendy, affordable, and unique gifts. From the kitchen to the crib, we have it all. Come by the store and let the Shelby's gals personally help you find the perfect gift and wrap it up for anyone on your list. Join us November the 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th for our annual holiday open house and enjoy 20% off. Shop local, shop Shelby's.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first guest in the studio today is Deborah Summers, and Deborah's here to talk about Operation Christmas Child. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I always enjoy being on TKO and getting a little plug in for Operation Christmas Child.
Great. You were here the last couple years, and tell us a little bit of, maybe for the people out there that don't understand, there's so many different organizations I mentioned, that this is quite unique. Tell about it.
It is. Operation Christmas Child is a part of an organization called Samaritan's Purse, which I'm sure everybody's familiar with. Billy Graham. It is actually an organization that was founded by Franklin Graham. And Operation Christmas Child is a part of Samaritan's Purse, and what Operation Christmas Child does is we collect shoe boxes full of hygiene items, crafts, toys, games, different things like that, and we put these all into a shoe box, and they go to over 150 countries all over the world. So.
Wow. So the program itself, I think if I recall you telling me this last time, it really doesn't have anything necessarily to do with children in the United States, does it? Or it does it?
It does not. Operation Christmas Child is really, that focuses more on internationally than what it does domestically. Samaritan's Purse itself is really more of a program that's domestic for the U.S., but Operation Christmas Child goes internationally.
Okay. So each year you have, I'm sure, gathering sites all over. It's a national program, isn't it?
We do. We have we actually have over 4,000 drop-off sites in the United States. Boone County is going to be a drop-off site at Real Ministries, which is right across from City Hall. Mm-hmm. And so that will be the collection site for Boone County this year.
Okay. Now, like, for instance, of course, our broadcast, we cover some other counties, and I don't want to put you on the spot if you don't recall where, but like in Marion County, would they have a drop-off site?
Marion County has their own drop-off location, and Baxter County has their own drop-off location. If people want to know where that is, they can go to www.SamaritansPurse.org. They can plug in Operation Christmas Child and put in their zip code, and it will tell them exactly where their drop-off location is.
Okay,
so.
Because we cover about 6 counties, and so that each one, I'm sure, has a different place that they take it to. But most of the counties in our area, I'm sure, participate.
Yes,
in the
they
program,
do.
In the
they
program.
do.
Give me, if you would, Deborah, just a little bit of an example of maybe some of the things that are used or that you're gathering up to put in these boxes?
Well, a lot of things that we would put in, you might want to put in socks, underwear, put in, crayons, coloring books, little hair ties for the girls. And typically what you would do is, a way to do that would be pick your age group that you want. They have 2 to 4, they have 5 to 8, I think they have 8 to 10, and then I think 10 to 12, I believe, is their groups that they have. If you can pick either if you want to do a boy or a girl, then that really gives you an indication of what you need to purchase for that child.
Okay. The locations that you have, okay, people take them there. And they should put them in a box. They should put them in a shoebox.
Right. They can put them in a regular shoebox. Some of the churches have these little Art Deco boxes that are provided. They're just come in a flat pack. They fold up the boxes and put their items in it. Or a really great thing to do is to get the little plastic totes. You can get them at Walmart or different places, because then the children can use those to transport water or do different things, and they're just going to hold up a little bit better for them. So they have the shoebox size totes that they can fill up with gifts and toys and different things like that.
In fact, that's a great idea. I hadn't thought about that, but that would keep the product, it's a little stronger box than a cardboard box, and it's multiple use. You can use it for storage or water container or whatever. So it's almost like getting another gift. For those children. Shipping, I would assume. Okay, you gather this up at the locations around the country, and then how does it go? Where does this all go to?
Well, what happens is every shoebox should come with $7 for shipping, which to ship internationally, if you've ever shipped anything, you would realize that $7 is really a small price to send these shoe boxes. From all of the collection centers, all of the boxes go to processing centers. I believe we have 8 different processing centers. There's one in Denver, there's one in Dallas. And what they will do is they will go through those boxes. They will determine, sometimes people will put things in boxes that really aren't really appropriate, or they may put liquids in the box. Liquids can't go in those boxes. So what they do is basically they would go ahead and get those boxes ready to be shipped overseas. And then depending on where the boxes would go, inside each little box is a little pamphlet that tells them about Jesus and how they can find Jesus. And then those pamphlets would have their language. It would be in the child's language. So what they're going to do all of that at the processing center before they go out.
Wow. It's a huge operation.
It's a huge operation. At this point, since 1993, we have delivered 135 million shoeboxes to children around the world.
Wow.
So this is one of the largest Christmas projects in the world.
Wow. Just an example, maybe some of the countries, where would be example of some of the countries that would receive these boxes?
Out of 150 countries, my goodness.
Just a few examples.
Romania, South America, Mexico, Seychelles Islands receive them, just China.
So,
the Philippines,
just
almost
every country.
They go everywhere. They go everywhere. And we've had a real opportunity, especially in some countries where they've had a huge refugee situation. We've had opportunity to be able to deliver shoeboxes to some of those children that are in the refugee camps. And so that's been a great, way to just really touch them and let them know that somebody's thinking about them. It's been really great.
You're right. There's a tremendous humanitarian need out there in these, particularly in these Middle Eastern countries that are hundreds of thousands of refugees displaced, if you will.
And then, they've taken them into orphanages, and it's amazing some of the stories that we hear come back about that. One little boy, there had been a washcloth in his box, and he was just ecstatic because at the orphanage they all used the same towel, or they had to share. And he said it was the first time, just using that little washcloth to dry off, that he had something that wasn't wet and dirty to dry himself off. And that was one of the most special things that was in his box, was that little washcloth. Wow. So it's just really amazing to hear when they go into orphanages that the kids come back and say, we thought we were forgotten. We didn't think anybody loved us. Mm-hmm. And so it's just been really great to be able to bless them and touch them.
That's fantastic. Quite a story. Okay, so what's the time frame? Give us a little time frame.
Okay,
on
the
this.
time frame is going to be, we're going to start collecting November 14th through the 21st. Our hours on November 14th, it'll be Monday through Friday. We're going to be there from 3:30 to 6:30. On Saturday, we're going to be there from noon until 6. Sunday, we will be there from 1 until 6. And then Monday morning is going to be the last time they can drop off. We're going to be there really early, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m.
That would be Monday morning.
That's Monday morning, because we need to get these boxes transported.
The date would be the Monday morning.
That Monday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. is going to be, that'll be on the 21st.
Okay.
So that's basically their cutoff. And last year our goal was 23:45. We got 23:06, and then I had people calling me after the drop-off time saying, when can we drop off our boxes? So just be sure that you get them in, for during that time frame. And our goal this year is 2,775 boxes. Wow. And so that's the biggest goal that we've had. But I believe that this is just tremendous opportunity for people to really get into the spirit of Christmas and give to someone else. So
yeah, that's quite a. I mean, you're talking about touching hundreds of thousands of children worldwide. That is a huge mission that has been undertaken here, and obviously a lot of people involved with that size.
Yeah, there
operation.
are 500,000 volunteers that volunteer for Operation Christmas Child, whether it be a drop-off site, whether it be at the processing center, and people. They actually have a waiting list for people that want to process the boxes in the processing centers, because it's such a great time, and just the camaraderie. And every year they have to turn people away. They have to turn volunteers away because they have so many people that want to respond to help at the collection centers.
Wow. Well, Deborah, I do appreciate you coming in to be on the show again this year. And if you've never heard about it, Operation Christmas Child, you can go on the web and find that. And also, if you happen to be in Boone County, now each county in our viewing area will have a location. Again, you can check that on the website. But the collection period is November 14th through the 21st, and it will be at the
Real Ministries, right across from City Hall.
Okay.
If you pay your water bill right there, we're right across the street in the brick portion of the building. Is where we'll be located at. So
easy to find. And again, if you live in Boone County, that would be the drop-off location. If you're in Marion County, Baxter, Searcy, or Carroll counties around us, there'll be different drop-off locations. Or you could, if you're close enough to Harrison, you want to bring them here. Obviously, that's fine too. But if you can help out, you touch a lot of children worldwide. Operation Christmas Child, it is a wonderful thing to do during the holidays for these children worldwide that probably won't even have an opportunity to really have a holiday at all, if anything. Thank you, Deborah, so much for coming in. Did we cover everything okay today?
I think we did it. Now all we need to do is get those boxes in the hands that they need to be in.
Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for your work, your volunteering to do this. And
it's a pleasure.
Quite rewarding, I'm sure. Stay with us. Be back on Connection in a moment. We're going to talk with another lady from the area. This has to do with tobacco use on Connection.
A hint of autumn is in the air, and the staff at Sisters Flower and Gift Shop invite you to stop in and browse their selection of new fall and holiday gift ideas. Check out their new line of organic grow kits, including basil, thyme, sage, rosemary, and many more. For you Razorback fans, Sisters has a large assortment of mugs, trays, banners, clothing items, and accessories. From fall and holiday floral arrangements, unique centerpieces, colorful wall decor, or exquisite serving pieces, Sisters has just the right item for any occasion. Sisters Flower and Gift Shop. We are so much more than flowers.
ahead, say it. It's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it. That somebody's me. I'm Bruce Lovins, better known as Little Bruce with the Roof, at your service.
That was over 20 years ago. The hat has changed, but we still provide the same great service. We not only clean chimneys, we do dryer vents, gutters, and handyman jobs.
Little Bruce on the Roof Chimney Services. Call 870-688-3389 and let Bruce come to you. That's Little Bruce on the Roof. Call 870-688-3389.
Call me.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on our show today. Our second guest in the studio is Tawana Manning, and she's going to talk about tobacco education. She's the tobacco education coordinator for Boone, Marion, and Newton counties. She's taken on a little more responsibility since she was here last time. Tawana, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it very much. Okay, let's start off by the programs that you are involved in, tobacco education. Is there, are you funded, how are you funded, I guess I should say?
Through the Master Tobacco Settlement monies.
Okay.
And those funds are distributed through the Arkansas Department of Health's Tobacco Prevention Cessation Program. Okay. And they're taking their lead from the CDC on how to use that money wisely.
Okay. So, and I know you have an office at the administration building for the Harrison School District, even though you now have taken on 2 other counties, not
right.
just Boone County. The purpose of the program, I'm assuming, that you're involved in, is information about the effects of tobacco products. Is that right? And getting that information out there.
Yes, and what we can do about it to protect the most people.
Okay.
That's basically what we're doing.
Okay. You hear people talk about second and third hand smoke a lot. Let's start with that. Maybe tell a little bit about the harm or what people should know about.
Okay. Secondhand smoke is the smoke that comes off of the end of a burning cigarette or out of a smoker's mouth.
Okay.
Either way, there's approximately 7,000 hazardous chemicals in that smoke, and at least 70 are known to cause cancer right off the bat. And it's unfiltered smoke, so recipients of that secondhand smoke are actually getting more of the toxins than the smoker themselves.
Really?
Yes. So, and now third-hand, and there's no safe exposure to secondhand smoke. If you're outside and someone's smoking in the vicinity, if you can smell it, then it is having an effect on you.
Wow.
Third-hand smoke, the term is relatively new, but it is the smoke that lingers. It's the what lingers after the cigarette is extinguished, or that has dissipated and now lays on carpets, furniture, countertops, clothing, that kind of thing. If you can think of it, when a smoking parent goes out to smoke, because we know that a lot of people are taking initiative on themselves and not smoking inside their homes.
Right.
They go outside to smoke, then they come in and hold that baby or toddler. The toddler or baby is getting that third-hand smoke right directly off of that clothing.
Wow.
So in second-hand smoke, they're breathing that as the parent exhales that cigarette smoke.
You know, I guess I hadn't. That is a new term. I hadn't the third-hand smoke. I had not heard of that, I guess. But it makes sense. I mean, you know, many times if you go into a building or somebody's home, perhaps, if they smoke inside, even though they may not be smoking right then, you know, the lingering effects of the tobacco product, smoking product, you can smell it. It's in the drapes,
Yes.
the furniture, bedding, I'm sure, and everything. So,
Yes.
and yeah, I can see we're holding a small child, even though let's say you went outside to smoke the cigarette, you come back in and you're the mother or whoever, and you're holding the small child up next to you. It's in your clothes already.
Right.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Right. And now what we're doing this year to help protect folks more is we're working on multi-unit housing policies. And those policies are really to protect those that live in apartments, duplexes, that kind of thing. And because there is no safe level of exposure to secondhand smoke, and it travels. If someone's smoking in apartment A, apartment B, C, and D are going to be affected by that smoke. And studies show that 34% of our residents in multi-unit housing choose to make their space smoke-free on their own. So, and it's just a minority, 20% or so, that are smoking within those housing units. So we're working toward owners, managers seeing the benefit of multi-unit housing policies, comprehensive tobacco policies that would cover even the electronic cigarettes, the electronic smoking devices, because as more studies are coming out, we know that it's not just water vapor and that the residue comes right down on the furniture, the countertops, and there are still some hazardous particulates in there. And so a comprehensive policy would cover all types of tobacco and nicotine products, and that way further protecting the residents of a unit. It's the tobacco smoke in itself, because it travels. It can come through electrical outlets, cracks in doors, anywhere, and over we hear that, run an exhaust fan, or we change the filters out every quarter, that kind of thing. That does not protect. That smoke just lingers. And we're hoping that owners will see the benefit in these comprehensive tobacco nicotine-free policies, because they should see a reduction in their insurance rates and in what it costs to turn over that apartment. Because when a smoker leaves and you see the bare walls, you see the effects of the nicotine, the tar, those hazardous chemicals in the tobacco smoke. So they're having to have extra money come out to clean that apartment, it even gets in the smoke detectors. And not to mention the the cigarette burns on carpets and countertops, and smoking causes the most fires. We know that from national studies. And so if a smoker was to catch something on fire in an apartment, it doesn't only damage their apartment if it is let go. There's water and smoke damage to other units as well. So we're hoping that owners will see the benefit in these policies.
Are you, you have a lot of complexes where you have, hundreds of apartments in them. We have a fairly big complex here in the Harrison area with the Links,
yes,
which is the largest, I guess. Are you getting positive responses from the owners of these facilities, or what's the reaction to this?
Some. Now, the Links that's a corporation,
right,
and because they have facilities all over several states, that's going to be a challenge right there. The local managers may be fine with this and may see the need for it, but when you go neck to neck with corporations, sometimes that takes longer, but perhaps they'll see the benefit in it too. That turnover cost, all those things could be going into that owner's pocket or that corporation's funds, rather than cleaning up after the tobacco residue is there.
Wow.
So,
what do you see since you office at the Harrison School Administration Building? Where do you see the trend with young people these days? Is it more smoking, less? I know the e-cigarette's a new kind of a device, and
right,
it's kind of caught on a little bit. But where do you see young people? Are they smoking more, less?
Actually, smoking rates have gone down slightly, but there's such an uptick in the electronic smoking devices because the media is doing the same thing with those as it did with cigarettes in the past. You know, they're showing beautiful women using those devices or really buff men, and so our teens and young people want to emulate that. What we're not seeing is the after effects of what that person might look like long-term use. So that's where we're seeing things. And of course, in the rural areas that we're in, we see a lot of smokeless tobacco use too. Yeah. So, and even that, property owners should see a reduction, not in insurance rates so much, but you know, the spit cups and everything around that can ruin a carpet really easy. Okay. So, but the tobacco companies, the industry is not going to give up. Right. You know, that's their livelihood, and they're not willing to sacrifice that money. So they'll always be thinking of something else to, some new product to come up with. And the best thing is education, because you can't take that away. Once you've been educated on that, the harm of that product, then you have a choice to make. You can choose to the harm, or you can choose to keep your body healthy.
Right. I know it seems like it kind of the trend kind of goes up and down a little bit there through the years. I've noticed, but you know, I think all in all, people seem to be thinking more healthy these days. Yes. I guess because of the media presence, and you know, it's. I was just curious if it's trickled down into the to tobacco products and so forth. I had to assume it would a little bit anyway. But yes,
and the industry targets low socioeconomic people. Yes. You know, that's a population they're constantly targeting. So we do our best to educate those, and especially in the schools where they can take that into the home. We just completed our Boone County Teen Summit. Marion County had theirs in September. The students get a big piece on tobacco prevention, so they're well aware of the dangers. Even we target 8th grade in that area, and so it's just that constant education, I think, that helps us see the benefit in not using tobacco products. Yeah.
I would assume you're right, and the more you try to get it out there to the younger age group, you know, particularly if their parents maybe are using tobacco products. Right. You know, that's not a good example, but many times it happens, and they do whatever the parents are doing. So I want to thank you for coming in today. I do appreciate it. We've run out of time here, but thank you for coming in and explaining. And I hadn't thought much about the multi-housing situation, but it makes a lot of sense that smoking inside a multi-housing unit, apartment complex or whatever, duplexes, that it goes not only from that particular location, but in through the walls and whatever into others. So you may be affecting somebody who really doesn't want to be affected by smoke. So thank you so much for coming in, and keep in touch with us. And as you progress, and hopefully your work will continue to reach the right people and convince them that tobacco products are not the way to go. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Connection this week. We hope we brought some information to you perhaps that you didn't know about. Join us each week in Studio B as we bring organizations, people in to talk to you and keep you connected. Many things have changed over the years, and so has auto body repair. Even though Ozark Auto Body has been in business for over 30 years, they continue to change with the times. They believe protecting the environment is important and have done so by using environmentally friendly waterborne paint from PPG. This aligns with the technology used by original manufacturers and gives you a lifetime limited warranty. Quality PPG waterborne paint, ASC certified.